back, dude.
I don't know why. Well, it's because usually we have the. There we go. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to One Side of the Coin.
Wow, it's not choppy.
It's not choppy. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so we switched locations in the store to do our stream. We're running off of my laptop instead of Mack-Attack's. But anyway, yeah, I'm Steveo The Gamer, and you're watching One Side of the Coin with me as always. My co-host, Mack-Attack. Yeah, we got a special guest tonight.
This is what happens when you walk into a store randomly.
Yeah. He just walked in, and we're like, "Hey, yeah, you're coming on the show with us tonight to discuss it."
Literally didn't even say anything. You walked in, Dad saw him at the counter, and went, "Yes."
You're supposed to just sit here listening. Did you not read the description of the video? Yeah. So if you read the description of tonight's video, she's supposed to just be sitting here listening to me ramble on and rant about our topic tonight. But anyway, we do have a guest that's he's going to jump in on the conversation, probably battle me as far as the topic which we have chosen for tonight, which we'll get into in a minute. I just want to say huge thank you to Haunted Castle Gaming's Sid and all the game designers that gave us Genesis that we talk about every week. If you notice, I got my Erica shirt on tonight. She wore Rain.
I wore Rain.
And he's off the team because, yeah.
For once, it's not me.
I own one Genesis shirt.
You don't own a Genesis shirt?
I have the one from the championship from 2019. I don't even have a 2021 championship shirt.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm the redheaded stepchild of the family.
Redheaded.
How did you not?
I'm the redheaded stepchild of the family.
Right? Like every day I wear something Genesis. Every day.
It was so funny because I even debated I was going to wear my Beastie Boys shirt today and was like, we're streaming tonight. I should probably wear Rain.
Yeah, so nice. So she wore Rain. Nice. Awesome. Yes, thank you to Haunted Castle Gaming once again. Guest star tonight, JC Rayner. He is a card designer for Haunted Castle Gaming's Genesis Battle of Champions. I don't know if you've created. Hey, there we go. There's one right here on my desk.
It's a meme.
It's a meme. Yes, he created this this badass card that everybody loves. I love playing the Lion Mane. He's responsible for it. Actually, look at that. There was this guy sitting right underneath. We've been hacking on this cute little bunny rabbit. Have you seen the new TELUS commercial?
I have not seen it.
You have not seen it. He is the star of the new TELUS commercial. I saw it the other day.
I didn't know we had a contract with TELUS.
We don't.
We don't?
No.
I thought you said this was the star of the TELUS.
He is, but if you watch the TELUS commercial, it's the bunny. It looks exactly like the Raikou rabbit.
It really does.
It does.
Don't they always use a rabbit?
No,
not all the time. They use different animals
or whatnot.
Yeah, they've used I think they use goats once.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the commercial, cutest commercial ever, it's got Raikou in it. So yeah, I'm like, hey, it's the Raikou commercial. But anyway, so he's created a whole bunch of awesome, powerful cards. Lightless being one of them, which I really love. By far, still my favorite is the Lion Mane. So our topic for tonight, we are talking. I'm going to rant on about Axon being over powerful, and it's mostly due to the fact that it has draw, and the one that we're really going to focus on is I say cycling. Some people call it filtering. Being able to go through your timeline, get what you need at a very rapid pace, outside of any other affiliation that does not have this powerful ability. Okay, so initial thoughts, JC. What do you think?
Someone's got to do the dirty drawing in the game. It might as well be Axon.
Okay, but why not any other affiliation? So Thymos, Bellum, Chaos, none of them have Chaos has a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot. So. But that's just the draw. I'm talking about being able to filter through your timeline. So we're going to focus on cards such as Future Sight is one of them. Then we'll let Mack-Attack speak. You can read what it does.
Wow. I actually get to talk now. 4-G card, 2 aura, Swift. You look at the top card of Target Champions timeline.
Target Champions. So you can actually target yourself to look at what you're going to be drawing next. Or what your opponent's going to draw next. Pick one. Go ahead. There's 5 cards.
That's one.
Yeah, that's the most famous one. Everybody uses this one.
Dedicated Studies.
Dedicated Studies. Yep.
Yeah, okay. 4-Chi, 2 energy.
Yeah, 2 energy.
Well,
that one's 2 aura.
Yeah, okay, I did. Okay, yeah. 2 energy. And it's at action speed, and you draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards.
Okay, next one.
Careful consideration. I love the artwork for this one.
Yeah.
is cool. 7 chi, costs 5 aura, has swift speed. Look at the top 3 cards.
Hi, James.
Is he not here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. Look at the top 3 cards of your timeline. Put one into your thoughts, one on top of your timeline, and the other into your memories.
Yep.
That's nice.
And then we have 2 alterations.
Oh, jeez.
Do you want me to do this one?
Libraries
It's
of
long.
Sahas. I can do it, but
Okay. Libraries of Sahas, yeah.
Libraries of Sahas. I'm just again. I was just hoping I said that right. That was all. As 8 life, 6 chi, 10 aura at action speed.
To create it, yeah.
Yes, to create it. Place Libraries of Sahas on an unoccupied spot in the arena. Trigger is displaced when Libraries of Sahas enters the arena. If it is created around you, then you may move onto it. The other trigger, the Libraries of Sahas, whenever a champion moves onto or is placed onto Libraries of Sahas, they may discard a card, then draw a card.
Mhm.
That's a lot.
Yep. And the last one?
Cathedrals of Vadis?
Yep.
The Cathedrals of Vadis. The main one tonight.
I actually love this card.
I like the artwork.
Yep.
It's really cool. 6 life. That's 1, but 6 life. 5 chi. 12 aura to create it at action speed. Place Cathedrals of Vadis on an unoccupied spot in the arena. The trigger, the Cathedrals of Vadis. Whenever a summon is beckoned on the Cathedrals of Vadis, its owner may look at the top 3 cards of their timeline and then put them back in any order.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So there are the 5 main cards, all Axon affiliated, to be able to filter through your timeline. Now, with Axon's already existing draw powers, such as the use of Nubia, you got Epiphany, etc., etc. A limb is another one that is for Axon. Combined with these filtering cards to get what you need for OTKs or for guaranteed wins, more or less. Well, I can't really say guaranteed, but for the most part, I think the percentages are showing more that any champion that has the Axon affiliation is using these cards with the draw power, and I have a funny feeling that that's why we're seeing most of the champions, such as Core, Nubia, and Kun, which are all Axon affiliated champions, coming up on top in the meta.
So I'm going to disagree on Kun. Kun is coming on top simply because I get a free movement. I have flight, so I'm unhindered unless you're throwing down a wall of mid-hits to stop me, because I can't move on to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still have my regular, move phases I can go through. So he takes anything that has an action speed or anything that's action speed going forward. Kun, as long as he can put it in his timeline, will absolutely benefit from it. Core has his own draw mechanic in him anyways. He eats up anything that has 1 health or less.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to draw off it. Core is going to want to probably do more work to kill things or get things down to get that extra benefit. Core's not going to fiddle around probably with Epiphany or nothing like that. He's going to want to use that or to bring things down to 1 health and just eat them. Who's the other one we're dealing with? Nubia?
Nubia.
Nubia's great until she runs out of aura. And then she just becomes a slapper at that point.
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah, like a bad game of GoldenEye.
She has running out of aura. Very seldom do we ever see her actually run out of aura in most gameplays. She's one of the highest out of all of them. Now Kun and Core are not having as much, but still relatively decent amount of aura to utilize. Whereas like even dedicated studies, Kun has the 1 energy reduction, can play dedicated for 1 rather than 2, can still cycle through his timeline, especially when we're seeing the Kun AoEs or the aggro Kuns.
And it's all because
and
of that
he's even transitioning
free movement.
over into hybrid decks. So
When you think about Kun and the draw potential, a card like Dedicated Studies isn't going to affect him as much because he's still going to get that. He can still essentially get 2 moves and still be able to play a Dedicated Studies because he gets his free move at the start of his turn, and then he can still go into his move phase and approach you and still comfortably play a Dedicated
Studies. Exactly. So my point.
It's that extra movement. If Kun didn't have that extra movement, it'd be debatable. Like, do we go Raha at this point in that because he has better range? That's where it comes down.
Well, that's just like for her attack, though. But the reason why we don't see as much of Raha is because of that only, was it 90 aura or 95 aura that she has, right? Which is a lot less. It can be detrimental, and she's going to run out of it a lot quicker than, say, Nubia or even Kor or Kun, right? Because they do have a bit more, a little bit higher. But they all, no matter what, they all have access to these cards to be able to filter through their timeline to get what they need. And I think Kor becomes a little bit more dangerous, or sorry, not Kor. I keep saying Kor, probably because I don't like Kun. So Kun, I'm not a fan of Kun. I lost my train of thought on that. Especially with Kun, he can set up his bull shots. He can set up his tsunamis. He can set up what he needs. Having that double movement, still being in his main phase, using these to filter through, right? He can still cast the 2 alterations. So he can actually literally dash, summon the cathedral or the libraries, and then get onto it.
Yeah, he could.
Actually,
the libraries would be very good for him because 3 movements in that
exactly
would absolutely be insane.
So I mean,
nobody plays libraries though.
What's that?
Does anybody play libraries nowadays?
No, well, they might now, right?
They might now.
That I'm bringing this to people's attention. It's like, libraries has been forgotten about. However,
it was forgotten about when we moved into original J.
Yeah, into original J, but we were actually utilizing it back when we were playing in Alpha and Beta a lot. Actually, it's like it gives you that drop. It was before we got Epiphany, right? So
do we not read what libraries does? It's as long as it's around you, you can move on a diagonal with it.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it actually does give you that diagonal movement if you need it, because if it is around, right? It says around, not adjacent.
Yeah, it's around.
Yeah, because you place it on any unoccupied spot in the arena, and if it is around you, you get to move on it. So yeah, you can move on to it, giving you that diagonal movement. Which
now the only thing I remember, it is a move. So if you have something that's restricting you from moving for any reason, so if you're on a quicksand, you can't do that. No, you can't. You would not be able to. But other than that, yeah, it's that movement potential in it.
Yeah, because it is the actual condition is. Oh, it says none. There's no cost of doing it.
You just move on it.
Or is placed onto, yeah. Okay, yeah, well, teleport could get you on top of it as well. But I mean, yeah, I don't think you're really going to combo up with a teleport just to get onto a libraries if you're placing it somewhere else in the arena. I think it's a little bit of a waste of resources. However, just using it on its own, to get that diagonal movement.
But going back,
still, my point is still being made. It's like Axon, right?
Everything has to have its specialty in this game, so that's what we're going to see. We're going to see. Axon have its draw. You're probably going to see either Bellum or Thymos take the more aggressive. Chaos will probably be more the tactical. Every affiliation will have something that's going to do well. If we're worried about draw, just remember, on a game where, our deck is used as a full-fledged resource, because there's not many games that use a deck as a full-fledged resource itself, draw becomes even more scary. Yeah, you can draw your 2 cards, you can draw your 3 cards. But when you're using your own deck to actually pay for your own cards as well, you're slowly getting to that point where you're going to run out of timeline. If you run out of timeline, you're done. So as powerful as draw is, if the cards you want end up at the bottom of the deck, you're just in trouble.
You're in trouble. But I mean, okay, so let's look at, say, cathedrals, for instance. So utilizing that with, say, a limb or Epiphany. Well, Epiphany draws 3 because this allows you to look at the top 3 cards. You put them back in any order. So on the limb, you'd be able to set it so that you're getting what you want out of those 3 cards right off the bat.
Oh, I'm ringing already. Huzzah!
Gotta go.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
We're not gonna let you anyway.
You're stuck.
But or say even the Epiphany, right? So you set up the 3, and then you're getting what you need, right?
Yeah. So, so what's the cost on cathedrals if it hits?
It's 12 or
It's 12. What's the cost on LM?
12.
12. So we're now paying 24 auras, which is one on a Nubia. It's 1/6 of our aura, and this is what we're doing. We're crossing our fingers to hope in those 3 cards. There's a card we're going to murder you with.
Yeah,
that's the risk we're taking. What happens on those 3 cards? It is left hook, and something else, a summon that you might get a use out of. The summon, you can go back and do your cathedral shenanigans again.
Yeah.
But if you left hook, or you left hook or other techniques or a spell, you're in trouble. The other problem with Cathedral of the Hiss, you need to be summoning something onto there to get that trigger.
Yep.
You don't do that, you're just absolutely you'll wreck at that point.
2-0. Moment of truth.
Oh, JC, how are you?
Still alive.
We're on stream. Yay!
You won 2-0. Kenny lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying, like, yeah, you can LM onto the Cathedral of the Hiss. You're paying 24 aura to play that. Yeah, maybe you get another LM. Now you're going in again. You're paying another 24 aura. We're now even further into that amount. And if you don't hit what you're looking for,
yeah, but you can set it up.
You can set it up. But again, so you're going into 3. You're going into 3. You're drawing the one from the LM. You're throwing the other 2 back. Let's say you're going to go in again with the next LM. That's great and all. You're only going to see 1 additional card.
2 over Jason.
That's a
2 over Jason.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money to spend on doing some draw shenanigans. Think what you can do with that 48 aura. We could have had down an angel wrecking the board by that point.
Yeah.
To go filter in for something.
I know.
I said angels are so cool.
Angels. I don't find angels a threat too much anymore. But yeah, I know I had talked about dedicated studies before, and it's like the risk factor and watching. Exploring the libraries, as Sid had said it too. It's like so many times we've seen it where you pay the cost of dedicated 2 cards off the top of your timeline.
And the 2 cards you need.
Yeah, they're horrible. And the 2 you end up drawing are just useless to you at that given time, right? And then you're just discarding those 2 or
now if energy cost was a thing, I'd be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, if you're starting up the up front, energy was a thing in the game. Like, great, that's not a problem as much because, yeah, you're not taking that risk. But the moment you throw energy into being a cost of the game, you're in a lot of trouble. You are going to lose that 1 card you might need or that 2 cards you're going to need. And you now putting yourself further into your timeline and further at risk. If your opponent's running a stall strategy on you or just being able to keep away from you, then you risk running out of timeline. That's not including what we're going to go see, and that's in Origins too.
In Origins, yeah. No, I mean, just sticking with the current though, but as we're seeing more meta timelines are being constructed where every single card is useful to you no matter what, right straight through. So regardless if 2 cards you discard off the top of your timeline are useful to you, chances are you're still going to be pulling 2 that are going to be useful to you in the game, making dedicated still a really great card.
Dedicated still a great card. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Again, you're fighting that energy and you're putting yourself at a higher risk. I'd rather at times have a card in my hand than burned out. Or again, there's nothing worse than going into a dedicated study. It's like, yeah, let's go find what I need. And as you said, you fail on it completely. Or the 2 that you really want.
It depends on how keen you are on building your timeline, right? And how it's set up to operate. So in most cases, like for 3 cheese, like if I am working on a Nubia, my 3 cheese are going to be
your
Kabus mostly, right? So I mean, discarding a Kabus or actually having to draw a Kabus because I've discarded a bold shot in response, I still have at least something, right, that I can work with, that's playable, and I can carry on.
So you go into that dedicated that, and your 2 mil cards are again a bolt shot or an angel goes. That doesn't feel good. And then the next 2 cards you draw are absolute jank.
Yeah.
And they do not get you out of the situation. They actually make you into a worse situation. So that's the trade-off you gotta look at. Where yeah, we want draw in the game, but if draw was super powerful,
well, it is.
It is. It is. But draw doesn't make Kun powerful. Kun has a built-in that makes him powerful.
His movement,
but
he has access to Epiphany and all these other cards and whatnot, right? So I mean,
I think
it makes him
take Epiphany away from Kun right now. Take him out of Axon. Give him that movement ability. He's still going to be powerful.
Yeah,
he's still going to be able to go in and do heavy damage. Anything that's an action speed, he'll take advantage of. You throw him into chaos, he's going to turn around like, oh, that's great. Demon's Raid. You throw him into Thymos. Oh, well, let's get the rain of arrows going. That's what will happen. It's why he still does good with stacking and even a couple tsunamis, because he can get in there, and probably about the most he's spending his aura on is a couple tsunamis. Because he'll get the most use out of them.
He does have that 1 energy reduction, which makes bolt shots in, say, wind slashes more appealing for him as well.
Tsunamis just deal with stuff. Too. When people are going wide on their summons, he don't need a board clear. He's got a tsunami.
He's got a tsunami. Well, tsunami is Axon's board clear, right outside of, say, like Purifying Wave or Meteorite, right? So counters to these cycle decks, right, or aggro, like massive aggro filtering timelines from other affiliations, right? So how would a player be able to cope with this?
If I'm going to Vellum, I might switch my timeline into being more healing base.
Healing base.
Because if you're drawing for your specific card, if the average damage is 3 or 2, if I can curve above that and heal, and not be drawing as much as you, and not be burning my energy, you'll die quicker before I do.
You still got to build, or you still got to use resources just to gain a little bit of health. But I mean, they're not going to stop as far as delivering the damage. So is it really worth it? So a lot of the times in the games that I've been playing recently, it's like I used to use a lot of healing power, such as Healing Fire or Angel's Embrace, but I've kind of backed off on it because it was brought to my attention. It's like, what's more important? Gaining the health or doing the damage, right? Because the end all result is you want to win the battle, right? So wasting those resources to gain that much life, right? Is it? And then you're without any resources. They're just gonna wheel you down. The game just takes a little bit longer. That's all it does.
It comes down to the healing can outcurve the damage that's being outputted in the long run. As I said, if you want to go to your best draw or Nubia. We do our 5 cards. We go into 6. We're at 44. She has 22 rounds. If she does not spend a single energy, the moment she spends energy, she just starts to go down with it. Yeah. So that's what we have to look at there. Again, damage to healing. Again, in this game, you can heal to a point where it might be hard for your opponent to take you out.
Okay, time out 1 second. Sorry, round 2. Jason versus Gary. Sid versus Elton John. Yan versus Shu. Kenny, you'll have the bye.
We're back. Hi.
We're back. Sorry about that. We're running a tournament.
So yeah, this comes out to if you can outcurve on the heal over the damage output. What's one of the best Bellum outputs? Probably Bull Shot. 4 damage.
Yeah. Okay. You got 2-0. Gary was 2-0. And Jason was 2-0. Yeah, you're going to be paired down because, yeah.
So, yeah, this comes down
to...
They always question it.
They always question it, yeah.
But, yeah, it comes down to if you can outcurve that. And as I said, Nubia's great. Nubia out of Aura is a train wreck waiting to happen. She's on a hope and a prayer that a bolt shot's going to land and kill you finally.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
More or less, yeah. Well, her double draw can affect it. We're not seeing as many bolt shots being played with her. and Hunter Cooper. Hi, Hunter.
So yeah, that's what it comes down to is draw powerful, yes, but in a game where your energy is a resource from your deck, it becomes a difficult choice to make. And again, if those draws fail, we've all had a draw we made in this game. It's like, well, that was stupid.
Yeah, I hate it when
You're
it's
in a
like
worse situation.
you mill to draw 2 cards or something like that, and you mill the better cards, and then you draw the crappier ones.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
the,
when that
on the
happens.
dedicated studies. Yeah.
And that's something we all have to consider in the game. Like, yeah, draw is powerful, but draw is always going to put you on the edge. When it comes to, so we dealt with Bellamy. If you can outcurve with healing, you should be okay, or some of the protected spells. It's just making sure that you know when to take a hit and you know when to heal yourself.
Well, it's also that 50-50 that you're getting something good or bad, right? So
on Anubia, it's always a 50-50.
Taking a huge chance.
On Thymos, it comes down to probably, like, I know Axon has better evasion, but Thymos' probably best thing is probably evasion as well. You're either going in with Decoy Rabbit, a backflip, and hoping for the best.
Actually, I really like, outside of the Chrono for Axon, which I think is probably by far the most powerful evasion card. But yeah, when playing Thymos, especially Idris, yeah, Decoy. I don't play backflip as much.
Is Decoy not yellow?
No, Decoy's is Thymos.
Oh, okay.
Thymos.
Sorry, I thought it was yellow. I think I'm thinking of a different one. Get shoved out of here.
Yeah. Shh. Remember? You're supposed to be quiet.
I think that was one part I really should have been quiet.
Yeah. Chaos too, though, does have some like you have Lambs' Slaughter, Oten, right?
Oten. The toughest thing with both of them is that Lambs needs a target summon, and Oten you can only if you're targeting. So if you're getting hit with an area or anything
Well, it's the same as Decoy though too, right? So or Decoy
True.
Rabbit.
Decoy Rabbit. So those ones you're either setting yourself up or you have something that can target you to get out of the situation. So there is ways to get out of it. It's the draw only seems intimidating because again, there's a lot of in testing for the game.
Mm-hmm.
My question always becomes the moment I have an Axon champion is, can I put Epiphanies in? Can I put Foresights in? And can I turn one murder you? That's how my thinking goes when I get to that.
Well, that's
you'd be surprised how often it does not work.
I think
you'd be surprised how often it doesn't work in testing.
In testing, yeah, that's just testing though.
But a testing environment, we still bring in some of the best things we can.
Yeah,
we're always trying something different to see what we can get within the machinations of everything else. And I think only once with a lot of draw have I actually made it go off, and it wasn't the draw power that was the problem. It was one of the other cards that had too much power behind it. It was too variable with the damage at a low chi.
Okay.
As it's just knowing what your affiliation is again. And then, as I said, like we're dealing with the meta now. The meta in 2.5 months is going to change.
It's going to change, yeah.
And it's going to be a pendulum.
I think, I personally think we're not going to see as much of Nubia being played anymore due to the fatigue that we are aware that's coming. Fatigue is going to be very, very powerful and probably put the draw power at bay, right? I think a little bit.
It will settle it down a bit. I think Kun's still going to be a problem out there. It's just, again, his free movement allows him to take better positions. But yeah, your best counter to people who still like to draw and draw heavy will be fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
And in the current meta right now, it's going to be how good is your evasion and knowing when to get out of stuff, or healing and protecting yourself.
Yeah,
as best you can, or putting as much distance between you and the other person. That's always a possibility too. Like
staying back, yeah.
Staying back, like if Kun's getting to be a problem, nobody plays walls if it hits.
Colin did. But it was his demise at the championship.
Nobody plays walls if it hits. Walls if it hits would slow down Kun.
But you're not going to face Kun on every single match, right? So I mean, walls you would look at it as being more of a what do you guys call it?
I call it more of a controlling the board, basically.
No. Your sideboard.
Your forethoughts.
Your forethoughts. Thank you. I don't use forethoughts. But
I don't like those.
I don't like forethoughts.
Yeah. And it's going to be a part of the game.
I know it is. No, I'm aware it's part of the game. I did have a forethoughts at the championship, but I think I only utilized it once.
And it'll be more vital as we get to Origins, because there are going to be times where you're going to need to switch in a card,
You're gonna need to switch out some cards.
and it allows us to.
But walls will probably be, I think, in there
it'll
just
always
in
be a four-
case,
it'll be-
especially if Kuhn's gonna keep rising in the meta, right? So
And
it's-
every time an action card comes out that's Vellum or Axon, Kuhn's like, can I stack it? And how can I make it the worst possible day for my opponent?
yeah,
And it's all because of that built-in ability. Remember when that ability used to be a trigger at the start of the turn
yep,
and not an immediate?
not immediate.
Boy, how that changed.
Well, they had to change it, right? It was because of the response, especially with Nubia's draw. So it's like on the draw, you could respond. Originally, back when we were first playing the game,
Nubia versus Nubia was the worst feeling for that.
Yeah.
Because Nubia versus Nubia, if you're playing Nubia, I'm playing Nubia, you would have draw. Or we'd both get the trigger. I would draw first if you're in the lead,
Mhm.
right? And if it's my bolt shot, you die before you get to move anything.
do anything.
For Kuhn, it was the issue that, yeah, he could move anywhere. He got that extra movement. But the moment he was around, that trigger always went off. And you could just have everything swipe at him, basically, if you
Yeah.
really wanted to. And that's one of the things that the game tries to do is protect the movement unless you cause
The movement.
trigger to happen.
or any opening trigger abilities. Yeah, that got put to a stop really quick. Because we didn't realize it at first. And I remember Sid telling us, it's like, well, you can respond to the actual draw, the second draw of Nubia. And it's like, what? Yeah. And it changed the whole gameplay. But then,
In a Nubia
They had
versus
changed
Nubia,
the
it's
ruling
a
on
very bad feeling.
but
to-
no longer like that, thank God. So, I mean,
No, immediate itself, that problem.
means itself, yeah.
Just make couldn't be powerful at the same time.
So knowing these though, right? Like let's take a look at a couple of the upcoming champions for Axon that'll have Axon.
Okay.
So like I know one's Kato. Who's the other ones? Do you remember? I can't remember. All
I don't
the
know.
names.
There's some.
For
There's some.
champions?
Yeah,
champions.
Lynette? Are we
She-
talking about the new ones?
yeah. Is she Axon Thymos?
Oh, I don't know.
I forget.
I know there's I think it's the Bellum Ice or the Bellum Axon. That's the ice magey person.
Oh,
Mhm.
what was Vampire Chicky there?
She's Chaos.
So I guess the question is there
Oh,
anyone
ah.
is there anyone that is in these affiliations that actually like will they make draw better?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to make draw that much better than what it already is as far as the new champions. It's worried about how the Axon's going to interact with the affiliations it hasn't seen yet, right? So it's like this filtering with Thymos is going to be crazy, I think.
So when it comes to Thymos Axon, my always big worry is not the draw, it's the evasion abilities
Yeah.
that are going to stack up. And if you're running Axon Thymos and you're drawing a ton of cards to get those evasion abilities, that's great. You'll avoid damage, but we now come to the same issue where now if you're spending energy to make attacks or use abilities, you're eventually just going to get low on timeline.
Yeah.
And that's always a problem in the game.
It is. It is.
Now, if Axon
It's going to remain to be seen, right?
if Axon had specific card searching, then I would say, yeah, you're all correct.
Specific card, like
So,
like you search for.
I can go grab a technique. I can go
Chaos
grab a
has already
something.
got that though. Like
Only
Chaos,
demon.
Demons. Well, no, it's Axon Chaos because it's a tribal card. You can actually search your timeline for one card. Right, it's the only card that has this ability right now, which I think it's overlooked, and I think it's due to the cost of 4 health. That can hurt. That can really hurt. However, people don't understand the powerfulness behind it in any given situation because it's that swift speed, is it not?
I believe so. Yeah, you're right. It's 4 health. I believe it's swift speed. It's an 8 cheat card. You got to remember as well.
Yeah, I don't think in any.
What people don't realize is the way to transmute a card into another card that you need at that specific moment.
Yeah.
You can go search your win option. You can go search your evasion option.
Yeah.
Whatever you need right there, or your big creature to deal with something.
Like, I mean, if you're sitting with 15 health or 14 health or whatever, you have enough to be able to play the Demon Scroll, where your opponent's got a lot less. You're searching out for that damage card on the stack already, right? Boom. And you're taking them out right down there.
Now,
And only for the cost of the health.
it is an HE card, you gotta remember. And what can we put in for that HE slot over everything else? Like, that's all stuff you got to consider.
Well, Epiphany was an HE card, and people were stacking their deck with like 10, 12 of them. Like, so, I mean,
But
I don't think that the chi value behind it.
The difference is, though, you are still searching for the specific card,
Yes.
and that's where it becomes very powerful. But the difference is, on an Epiphany, though, I can play an Epiphany. I could hit 5 chi, a 6 chi, a 7 chi. I could hit 4. I could hit 3 bolt shots off Epiphany if I'm really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Where on the flip side, where a Demon Scroll, what's the best 8 chi I can pull on a Demon Scroll? You can pull a Meteorite. You're going to take more damage at
Well, you pull
top
a
tier.
meteor, right? Yeah.
You
But I
can
mean,
pull,
it can get you out of the situations, right? So, or you can pull it. You can search for the chrono, etc.
would you like to pull a Yamirage on a tribal?
Yeah, but we don't know what's to come in the future either, too, right? So it's
But if Axon had that as its core thing, where it could search out specific
You don't have to
cards,
search for the 8 chi card, right? You can search like
you can search for anything. But if Axon had that as its core ability to search a specific card at all times,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, yeah, you know what, you're probably right. Axon's really, really overpowered.
Mhm.
Just to be able to search that specific card and what you need is always powerful over having to draw random cards.
Well, I mean, if Epiphany does stay at the 4 that it's limited to, Demon Scroll can help you get that,
It could.
right? So, I mean, if you're only able to play 4 in there, you're running, say, 3 or 4 Epiphanies, you're playing Demon Scroll as your balance to the missing Epiphany, you're actually searching out for that Epiphany, right? Which could still, in the long run, really, really support those OTKs.
I do.
If you're running Demon Scrolls, I highly doubt you'd be running the Epiphany, though, unless you're looking just for high damage output.
Well, that's what you would want to, right?
It would probably help a little bit, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest, at the end of the day. Not set on the strategy.
I haven't seen a lot of Demon Scroll being played yet. Just it's sitting in the back of my mind more or less as to for the new champions, right? I mean, on our existing champions right now, it's not really worth it to be playing it. But I have a funny feeling we're going to see it.
I think you'll see it come one
See it
day.
in the future.
You'll see a shift in the.
But again, Axon in it. It is tribal Axon Chaos, but Axon's ability once again. Right?
What's your hate with Axon, man? What did Axon ever do to you? Isn't that all you play is Axon?
No.
There's
Seriously?
like a lot of red, purple.
Yeah,
Oh, you're going.
Thymos Chaos, man. It's my love, baby.
What happened to Nubia? Did you divorce her already?
Long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
Long time ago. Except, no. I have to give. No.
Dude, he basically cheated on her. Like,
Wow, that turned quickly.
and
Yeah,
then
but as
the
my
mom-
wife's standing
yeah,
over there
yeah,
laughing
mom
at me.
standing right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, there was a whole joke about that because I was saying I used to play Nubia like huge, right, when the game first came out.
That extra draw was actually really, really nice.
It was the appeal of the draw, but I took my love over to Axon Thymos Chaos to Idris, right? So
I still play Malik. I don't know why.
yeah, no, I love
Still
my
cheated on her.
on her.
You're a fornicator.
It's because I like Idris. I think it was because I think Sid had pointed it out. It's because I was saying how much I love Thymos Chaos, right? And the meteorite picture of Idris standing there like this, and I'm like, hey, she's waiting for me to come and give her a hug or something like that, right? And it just snowballed from there, and it's
You're
like,
that
oh
one
my
meteor
god,
there. You're one of those.
yeah, right. Anyway, yeah, okay, we'll get off of that.
But let's go back onto what we're talking about. Axon. Draw. Great. There's
Draw,
nothing wrong with having more
Draw,
cards in hand.
filtering, cycle,
Nothing
whatever
wrong.
you want to call it.
Every affiliation is going to settle into what it does very well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Axon feels like another game. I was going to say another game cover, but a lot of games when something's blue has to draw stuff.
That's so true.
He's not wrong.
Don't even say
Or
it.
has to counter stuff. It's,
No,
it's
he's
an
not
unconventional truth of
wrong.
the game.
I know he's not wrong. I just don't want to hear it.
Oh, I wasn't talking about our friends over at like WotC. I talked about like other games.
Yeah, I suppose.
But you're going to see either.
No, I already
Balam-
gave you hell earlier for mentioning it. But it's like, ugh.
That
Yeah, I
one you'll
just don't
probably see a heavy heal and a heavy protection. You'll probably see Thymos find a way to wreck damage, and Chaos just be very techy. And Sage will probably let's manipulate the board somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you'll end up seeing eventually. Everyone's going to. Now, do I think other factions should have abilities in draw? Absolutely. They just need to pay for it in a different way, or have to
True.
pay more for it.
True.
I'm
Well,
all
I mean,
for
like we did get the sidestep for all affiliations, which was a way to get out of attacks. Adds swift speed. I think that's about it, really. Or healing with Breath of Jaelara, right? So,
Yep.
I mean, Breath of Jaelara is actually starting to make a really good comeback in some decks. Seeing it being played more defensively, so more.
And a question to everyone out there: Would you play a Jaelara card that's 8 chi? It draws you 3 cards, but you're going to pay 25 aura for it. Would you find a way to play it? But if you want to go the Axon route,
Too high of a cost. Too high of a cost.
But is that not the best way? Jaelara really is going to be, I can play everything.
Mm-hmm.
So why not put everything in there, but make it absurdly cost? So you want to play Chaos Axon, you have squat in defense and heal. You might want to trade in some of your Chaos Axon cards that you use for those Jaelara, pay a bit more, and go into that techiness.
Yeah, like
there are games that reward when you do that. Yes, it costs a lot more, but if you can get it to work, it's a way for you to fight.
Like, I mean, straight up Jalarian to satisfy all affiliations, right? I mean, it's good, but having that alternate, like the one thing, so like the Baihu, right?
Yeah.
Normally costs 6 aura, right, to play, whereas Erica's ability, exerting her, is costing her that extra 3 aura, right? I could never really grasp my mind around that concept, right? It's like, okay, well, she already has access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Baihu's an actual summon in the game.
Yeah.
Why is she going to waste that extra 3 aura to get her one, right, when she already has access to it in her timeline?
Because if they're... So, Baihu's 4-chi?
Yes.
Erica's Bellum? Would you rather have
Bellum. Yeah.
Would you rather have a Wind Slash or a Baihu?
Depends. Depends on the style of the timeline.
In general,
if I'm playing Erica as a summoner, which I normally don't. I usually hybrid her, but yeah, there's no need to utilize that or use up that extra 3 aura to put a Baihu in when I'm already putting a Baihu in. No, I think Baihu's a 3-chi.
What was cheaper?
What's that?
So what was cheaper?
Summoning it right from the time. Well, it would have to be in your hand.
Baihu.
Yeah.
But that was like the it comes down to, so you gotta remember, Erica is an early design champion.
Yeah.
Erica nowadays, her ability would probably be a lot less to play. Secondly, it comes down to that. Is it 3 or 4? I'm still trying. I think Skeleton's 3. I think Baihu's 4. It's a 2/2. I think Baihu's 4.
You got enough cards over there.
Yeah, it might.
Let's see, but you can find one right there.
Grab that blue binder.
I can't reach that far. I'll end up killing a shoulder.
Right.
But it comes down to the exchange on the chi of the cards. So if Baihu's a 4, then the question becomes: do you want to stack up with your Wind Slashes, or is there another 4 chi that you can put in the deck to be more powerful? So again, everything's going to do something that really well itself.
4 chi.
So 4 chi. So now it comes down to, you're going to Wind Slash, you're going to Baihu, or you're going to use Searing Light. Like, I know it's an action speed, but it's still...
Nope. Definitely not a Searing Light.
But those are the things that would come into
do
play.
damage? Like,
it does. It's 2 damage, but it's that action speed. It's the same thing as like a Wind Slash. But
so those are the things you would consider on something like that. But do I think Jaelara should have access to everything? Yeah, I think that's absolutely not a terrible idea for the game to go going forward. But you're going to be taxed on it very heavily. Remember, Sidestep is Swift Speed. There's no restriction to it. It's still a 6 energy card.
Mm-hmm.
It's still 6 energy, and it's 5 chi. So, yeah, you get out of something, but it's still getting up there in price.
Yeah. Yeah, it's costly. Well, Oten, too. Like, you look at the counterpart to it for Chaos itself. Oten is still the same cost of it. It's 6 energy to play it, but you have to be targeted. Whereas
it's a 3 chi, and that's a lot. That's a lot of room to slide something
which
in.
I think why it's become a staple for most Chaos timelines. But like 2 chi more sidestep, those two don't have access to Chaos, are utilizing it, right? Probably not playing it as heavily as Oten, but it's still there and it's available to them. Right?
So again, like I said,
which is why it's like you would think that Erica's ability would be cheaper, right? Because the
remember,
Bayou's hers, right?
Erica,
She has the
I
Bayou.
remember she's still an early design.
She is an early design champion. Yeah,
She's an early design
wish we'd see
champion.
a little bit,
And you got to remember,
bit of a change to
the
her,
forethoughts were just coming into that, so we still don't know the full effects of pulling always up something from the forethought.
Is she your kid?
Who?
Or no, he designed. I said designed all the champions.
He designed the four champions from race. So
the look on your face. She your
like
kid?
my kid.
No,
sorry.
I was confused.
She got confused too.
I'm not a fornicator like you.
What? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many Jim Cornette quotes going through my mind when I say that now. Oh my gosh. But again, Erica's early design. Get like one of my favorite games does take it where I can build any of my characters in any colors.
Mm-hmm.
They have colors that they're geared towards. One of the biggest rewards that I find in that game is taking a character outside their colors because you get into more combos.
Oh,
but when you're in the
UFS?
No, Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Because when in the game Mega Man, there is 4 colors. Think of Magic. You know, blue is going to draw you stuff and it's going to counter. Red's going to power up stuff. I think green's like draw and recover. And I think yellow's like burning stuff and powering up yourself.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, when you go into a character-specific card, they start paying a lot less for that ability, whether it's a non-specific one. So if you sometimes take their character-specifics in one color, then move into another color that's not theirs, you get into different combinations. That's where the going into Gilera but taxing more does become a little more interesting. Again, could we imagine Malik, turn around saying, yeah, I'll pay 25 or something to go draw 3 cards to have a bit more momentum to pound you in the ground?
Yeah, it doesn't leave much left though. So
no, but all it takes is for him to do it. Or maybe dedicated study sends up in Gilera at, I don't know, a 5 chi and 4 energy or something, or 5 energy. And Malik's like, I'll take the risk. If I can pound
I think more or less on those statements, though, that's in your hands, right?
Yeah, we'll say it's somewhat in my hands. There's a team behind the stuff.
I know there's a whole team around it.
There's usually fighting, steel chairs, fluffy kids throwing around. Other
endless
things
hours of screaming at each other back and forth. Yeah, I know. I've heard about some of the fights. It's pretty good. But,
elbows off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, they get the office of Haunted Castle Games. They got this big, wrestling arena in the middle of it, right? So, but
you're actually the what?
I think it'd be awesome if we did.
I don't know if we're gonna have some terrible ideas going through though. In the long run, if certain people win, right? It's yeah. Hey, you see, a Sid would be in the corner because he doesn't like the fight.
I'd pay to go.
You guys win. You guys win.
But going back to Axon being powerful, yeah, draw is a powerful game. But I'll say on my side of the coin, it's definitely coming down to energy. Paying cost from your deck does get pricey.
It does, yeah, it does get pricey. I don't know. It's just the meta is still continuing on the way that it is. Axon is seems to be the number one key issue with the current metas, right? So, and it's like, I know struggling to try and get their Thymos and Chaos up there, even Bellum Thymos a little bit, just doesn't seem to manage to get through, right? So, but who knows what's going to happen once Origin comes out, right? Which we're so excited.
Have so much new
stuff. Yes, exactly. So definitely something to look forward
Origins will turn the game to the Wild West for probably quite a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge meta shift. There's a lot of players struggling. If you're not especially if you're not in the future league, trying to build new timelines and what's going to come up on top, right? So, which is a key thing. How much did future league miss, right? As far as with playtesting, because I remember back when I was deep into it, and we were looking at Stone Protector. It was Draco's Cavern. Right, in the Angels, right? We weren't even looking at Epiphany, right? Which I think was a big mistake on our part.
We got Foresight.
We got
Foresight. Foresight was, anyone who's watched,
you love Foresight.
I love Foresight.
Yeah.
When stacks become a big thing in the game, Foresight's going to be my friend.
Yeah.
But remember, Foresight
Axon.
Foresight used to be only 15 aura.
Yeah.
It did not have the exert cost, so you could chain to Foresight to Foresight to Foresight. and murder someone before they even had a chance.
Yeah, no, the exert was definitely needed on that one.
Mind you, it nerfed it a lot, but put it where it should be in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting though to see what Origins brings to the table. How much is going to come up on top on it? So, in the shifting of the champions, like I've already got mine picked out. I know what I'm going to be focusing mostly on.
I have no clue yet.
You have no idea.
I have no idea yet.
You have a favorite yet for? I know you like Kasha a lot. Yeah, she's into the vampire thing. So,
who's the summoner who can summon on the angles? Forget.
Yeah, he's Axon Thymos.
He's codename Master Summoner in the
Future League.
In the Future League, that's his code name.
It's
It's like Bashir, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah. We
Might
don't
not
have
be-
this, I know we got some of them with the Patreon, some of the new champions. I don't think we've gotten that one yet.
It's like super. Again, I think he has access to Axon, but that something on the angles is super unique. It is.
It's gonna be so powerful with Necro.
With Necro, a few other things, it'll definitely make the build unique.
Yeah,
And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay if the battle's always unique like that.
and especially if he's Axon Thymos, because I've
I
already
think
got
he's
plans for that.
Axon Chaos.
Yeah,
Wait, no, I think he's
Thymos.
I think he's Chaos.
You think he's Chaos?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
We'll have to look that one up. Yeah, for sure. Or if anybody out there knows, I don't think anybody's really still tuned in yet. But anywho, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up for the evening. But some announcements. We run Genesis every Thursday evening, and on Saturdays at 6:30 on Thursdays and 12:30 on Saturdays. If you want to participate in tournaments, come on out and join into our community. We'd love to have you.
Get yourself signed up on the GO.
Yes, check out www.genesisbattleofchampions.com where you can get all the information about this awesome game, learn about the lore, how to play the game, store locators for LGSs that are running it, etc., etc. Tons of information on there you'll be able to get involved. If your LGS is not, I'll break your finger.
Your LGS.
Yes, the LGS. If your LGS is not involved in it, get them involved. Reach out to Haunted Castle in ways to get them participating in organized play. Absolutely amazing game. We love it. So, you want to say hi to anybody? Any announcements?
Is it what I'm supposed to say? Hi, Mom, or something like that?
Yeah, why not?
I
Right?
can't.
Have you ever looking for-
Say hi to Lionel. Hi, Lionel.
Hello.
Hi, Lionel. Hi, Carl. Hi, Will.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody. Will didn't make it out tonight.
Hi, Sid.
He chickened out
You chicken.
because I actually started playing again. But
Hi, Brad. If you're ever looking for me, you can be found on the Discords. John Genesis Battle of Champions. Look for the decoy rabbit in the picture. Not hard to find on there. So yeah, if you ever had a question or want to comment or just wanted to or up a random discussion, you can find me there.
yes, perfect. I'm also on the Discord as well too. I'm always willing to have a chat with you about Genesis anytime you want. So is Mack-Attack as well. So she doesn't discuss it as much being a casual player, but she still loves talking about Genesis.
I don't have. Well, I have Discord. I don't know how easy it'll be to find me because I think you need my number thing because I don't think I'm part of the Head to Tails group.
No.
But I got Instagram and TikTok both under Mack-Attack, so there's that.
Perfect. Awesome. So I think that's it for this evening. Be sure to tune in every Thursday night where we run our one side of the coin. Remember, this is our opinions and what we think about Genesis and our discussions. You draw your own conclusions as far as what we're talking about and participate in the chat. Like and subscribe our channel. We hit 250. We will be giving out a full set of, actually, since I have them right here in front of me, of these. The full Arthur 3-year anniversary promo cards. I know I've seen some of these are showing up in Patreon now, which is, I don't know, it's makes me wonder if I should switch out that pricing, but who knows, we might. Be sure to look out. Kickstarter is going to be coming very soon for Origins. Yeah, so it's, I think he announced still the end of July or sometime in July it should be arriving. So we're super excited. If you backed up the Kickstarter, you'll be getting that soon. Circuit play or circuit tournaments. Bleh, can't talk. I'm talking too fast. Circuit tournaments. Be sure to check out where all the circuits are being held at. If you want to get into competitive play, top 8 at every single circuit is going to get their invite to the 2022 championship. Coming up, we are actually running ours at Anime North on July 16th. Sorry, July 16th is a Saturday at Anime North. So if you want to get involved with that, take a look on the Geo. All the information's on there as well. And I think the first one's at Origins.
Origins next month.
Origins next month in June. Origins in Ohio, right? Columbus, Ohio.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah, it's in the States. What's that? In Ohio, yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind going to that one. A lot of our community is actually already planning on going to Ohio for that one. So good luck to everybody there. Hopefully you guys do really, really well. And yeah, that's it. So thanks again. We will see you next time on One Side of the Coin.
See you in the arena.
In the arena.
Bye. Yeah, keep waving.
Just keep waving.
Keep waving.
Keep
Keep waving.
Bye.
Keep waving.